People celebrate Halloween. But where does Halloween come from? Welcome to the Escapades. I am Esther, and if you're new here, karibu tena sana, and think of subscribing. And if you're my friend, take a seat, get what you're drinking, and let's know, where does Halloween originate from? Halloween is an ancient holiday celebrating life and death. The festival started with the Irish Celts, and it started as Samhain. It wasn't actually Halloween, it was Samhain. By this they meant there was a thin line between life and death. That means people would come to the living and the living would go to the dead. It was also the beginning of winter and a warning. Go outside, keep warm, and remember the dead. There's another one of giving out sweets. Whenever they gave out something good or food, like, it was festival, people were celebrating. So in this celebrating, it was an exchange of the prayer. Since the barrier was too thin and people could maneuver, that's the reason of the fire and the dressing up. In fact, the dressing up was for, if they come this side, you will scare them. Like they would not know the difference between the dead. So at the time, Western European countries, they had a way on how to welcome winter. They had their festivals. And at this time now comes the Roman empires, like, they conquered. So in the Roman Empire, there was Constantine the Great too. One actually who invented another religion. This religion is Christianity. And since he wanted to bring in people and introduce people to the Christianity, he had to accept the other, what tradition other people are doing. And this is now the Samhain. The Samhain. I'm really sorry, the Irish, the way they write their words and the way they are pronounced, it's totally different. It's called Samhain, not Samhain. Anyway, since here now, it's now they are introducing, the Romans are introducing Christianity, and then now they had to adopt the Samhain tradition of this now Halloween, and this they combined, and now the Samhain and the Christianity, and then it brought Halloween, and now since Christianity is spread widely, now this is the transition of the story. In the 18th and 19th, America was colonized by the Portuguese, Spanish, French, and the Danish. So, and of course, they took Christianity with them. And with this now Christianity, there is this now Halloween. You see, like their own tradition, they kept their culture and they continued with what they were doing and their rituals and all that. And now, since after a couple of years, now as it became safe in the country, they opened the doors to the rest of the European. And now there is when now came the Scottish and the Irish people. If you look at it right now, most of the Americans they have the origin of Irish background. The Irish participated in their culture. Americans became interested and they wanted also to join in. And they had this thing of Jack, it's called Jack O'Lantern. It's another story of its own. In America, however, they discovered a fruit which made it easier for the job and for them to make this Jack story now. And that was now came pumpkin, the pumpkin. That's why you always see everywhere pumpkins. Like they will draw, they will cut it off, and then they will draw this Jack. You see the pumpkin. There's the pumpkin here. And now from America is when now the Halloween itself was introduced. And from America, the rest is history. I guess in Africa nowadays they celebrate Halloween, but it's not a holiday. Like, we've not made it really a public holiday to celebrate Halloween. But people celebrate Halloween, they get dressed, they go out, they have fun. But some people, they would still consider it as something devilish. And in fact, even if you look at it very well, like European, they still hold this, like they still have their own, how do you call it? they still have all their tradition. Like in Germany, if I look at it, in Germany they have this thing called Fastnet or Fasching. It's pretty the same, but it's the same in the sense of it's going back to the old days. The Halloween one is more modernized. The one in Germany they have Fastnet. In England they have these bonfires, and in the Brazil they celebrate it too. In Mexico they have this the Day of the Dead. Pretty. People celebrate this. So my friends, thank you very much for tuning in, and asante for coming back again. Until next time, adios.